You have some very attractive fans on that film as well.
I mean, it looks like I'm surrendered for very beautiful girls. I don't know the telephone numbers, I said that.
Well, that's the first lie of the evening, right. Well, I remember I interviewed you on radio in 1981, which, of course, sticks in your mind. And you were just broken through on the English market then. Your song had become a hit. And your English was not so good. Have you studied it properly, apart from being helped by other singers?
Yes, I've been for the last, I would say, 5 years, I've been studying English for 3 or 4 hours a day. Like a young student, trying to strengthen myself like crazy because it's the only way. And now what happened is I can follow a conversation in English like with you, and I can understand Mr. Norman and Jack very well, and understand your life very well, and yours.
How many languages do you actually sing in?
Singing, bad. French, Italian, Spanish, of course, German, Portuguese, Japanese.
Japanese?
And English.
That's hard. It's not a romantic language, is it, Japanese?
Japanese is not so complicated when you sing because the phonetically is very similar than the Spanish one. The ending is really easy for us. What happens is it's just an emotional feeling. If you get involved emotionally in the song, you can sing.
What's begin to begin in Japanese?
I didn't sing begin to begin in Japanese.
Oh. Of course, Norman, you interpreters have been vital to you, I'm sure, more than once. I mean, World War III could break out if they didn't get it right. The site is nuanced, particularly with an Eastern language.
Yes, and I speak bad French. I worked quite hard to improve it, and it got quite good for a while when I was going a lot to Brussels. And I, in fact, used to do a certain amount of negotiating there, and English and French were the main languages. They got mixed up sometimes, you know, it was quite extraordinary. But it was the only way to deal. But English makes you lazy. If you speak English, everybody speaks English. You just don't bother.
If they don't understand, you just speak louder, don't you? That's, How does Fawlty Towers translate into Taiwanese?
Well, apparently it works fine. I mean, I actually have a tape at home which starts with the music. And Basil runs down the steps and so on. I still haven't figured out which Eastern language it is. I think it's Cantonese. It doesn't have a label on it.
Yeah. Wonderful. Now, you not only sold more records than anyone in the world, you've probably had more silly things written about you than anybody else in the world. For example, 2,000 to 3,000 lovers. Now, you're among friends here. What's the truth?
You look at me, I'm a very skinny guy.
No wonder.
And the truth is, I'm a normal man. When I said 3,000 girls in my life, my mother looked at me like, said, "It's true, Julio." And I said, "Mommy, you know the truth. I'm spending all day in the house. You know my life." But anyway, if it's in the front page, it's okay.
Spell the name correctly, that's...
Because sometimes you wake up in the morning and you read something about yourself which you say, "My God, this is not true." And it's good because it's in the front page. We love it. But what happened is the next day you read something about another person and you believe, knowing that what they said about you last night or last morning was not quite just. So to answer concrete about the 3,000 girls, maybe I had 4 or 5 girls in my life.
If it had been 3,000, it would have beaten John's record. That's ridiculous.
I would have been in the Guinness Book of Records, yeah.
Which you have been, of course, but for selling more albums than anyone else. The penalties of mega fame now, Julio, your father was kidnapped, wasn't he?
Yes, my father was kidnapped 4 years ago. That's it's a deep problem in my life because I had 3 little children, and of course after one happens that with my father, everybody has been concerned and it could happen again. Just as a feeling, you know, and then if nothing happens ever, maybe you don't get concerned about the things. But if once happens in your life, something like this, you get concerned about every single thing.
Yes. What about yourself? Do you surround yourself by bodyguards?
No, not at all.
Obviously, Norman, it is a security is something that you have to live with. Does it impinge very much on your private life?
Not a great deal, no. And I think it's far more difficult for some of my former colleagues in government, obviously, and particularly for the Prime Minister. And then it becomes very restrictive. You know, it was quite a factor when we were running the election campaign last year that we had always to think about the Prime Minister's security. But fortunately, the people who work for us, all of us who've been protected, are a pretty good bunch of chaps. They're very skilled professionally, and they also have a great trick of knowing when to be around and when to move back, and I think that they're a great bunch of guys.
And I suppose in a way become like flies on the wall, in that sense that they're
Well,
there.
no, I've always swatted flies on the wall. I wouldn't want to be caught trying to swat them.
Yeah, quite.
Might cause some problems.
Julio, you've achieved, of course, what most people will always simply fantasize about. You have it all, including your own jet, of course, and I'm sure you'd like one of those, Norman.
Very convenient, yes.
That's convenient. You're
yes,
very right.
everybody
sir.
should have one.
Exactly. That's what I think. We agree on that.
John, you're doing all right, but what is left for you to fantasize about?
We have to play, John.
Oh, I just wanted to sleep for about 15 months.
So,
Yeah, I think so. That's what I feel like, actually.
I do have that effect on people.
this doesn't fit very well with the gluttony, does it?
No, well, I have to get that over first. Yeah.